Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are getting into a deck tech for River Song. She costs 1 generic, 1 blue, 1 red. She's a legendary creature, human Time Lord rogue. And her first ability, Me in reverse, you draw cards from the bottom of your library rather than from the top. And her second ability, called Spoilers, whenever an opponent scries, surveils or searches their library, put a +1/+1 counter on River Song. Then River Song deals damage equal to her power to that player. Alright, let's get into it. But first, a word from our sponsor. Dubby's an energy drink loaded with vitamins and supplements. Its caffeine is derived from whole fruit extract. Dubby has been formulated for anyone who wants to focus without rash or jitters. With no artificial flavors and 0 calories and sugar, Dubby is the perfect gluten-free drink when you want that little boost. Just one mix with the rounded scoop into 6 to 8 ounces of cold water, and you'll have a cool, refreshing, and energizing drink. To pick up your own tub of Dubby or shaker cup, go to www.dubby.gg and use code #WCTT at checkout for 10% off your entire order. Or just follow the link in the video description. Thank you for watching, and now back to the video. Okay, as customary around here, we're going to get into the land base first. So let's start off with a command tower, a mana confluence, Spire of Industry, Reflecting Pool, Forbidden Orchard, Exotic Orchard, Tarnished Citadel, City of Brass, Steam Vents, Storm Carved Coast, Fiery Islet, Shivan Reef, Scalding Tarn, Ancient Tomb, Treasure Vault, Reliquary Tower, Adventurous Fair, Maze Abyss, Academy Ruins, Urza Saga, Strip Mine, Rivendell, Seat of the Synod, 2 Islands, the Great Furnace, and a Mountain. Next, we're going to get into our artifacts package. We start off with the Mox Diamond, Chrome Mox, Mox Opal, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Sensei's Divine Top, Mind Stone, Thought Vessel, Izzet Signet, Local Metal Torque, Arcane Signet, Talisman and Creativity, Fellbore Stone, Scroll Rack, Icecrown Scepter, Sculpting Steel, Cloudstone Curio, Staff of Domination, Basalt Monolith, Aetherflux Reservoir, and the Bone Ring, and a Mystic Forge. Next, we're going to get into our instance package, starting off with the Pact of Negation, a Brainstorm, Spell Pierce, Swan Song, Lightning Bolt, Rapid Hybridization, Red Elemental Blast, Pongify, Mental Misstep, Pyroblast, An Offer You Can't Refuse, Counterspell, Cyclonic Rift, Delay, Reality Shift, Negate, Modal the Mixture, Dramatic Reversal, Abrade, Deflecting Swat, Fierce Guardianship, Word of Invention, and a Force of Will. Getting into our sorceries, we're starting off with a Faithless Looting, a Gitaxian Probe, Gamble, Fabricate, and now our enchantments. You can ignore that one. Starting off with Mystic Remora, Underworld Breach, Dress Down, Power Artifact, Ristic Study, and our only Planeswalker in the deck after our enchantments is a Narset Parter Veils. And now we start with our creature package: Walking Ballista, Dragon Rage Channeler, Fairy Mastermind, the Reality Ship, Dockside Extortionist, Ledger Shredder, Phantasmal Image, Thassa's Oracle, Ethereum Sculptor, Emery Lurker of the Lock, Imperial Recruiter, Buried God of Storytelling, Spellseeker, Foundry Inspector, Shimmermere, a Phyrexian Metamorph, and a Stormkiln Artist. Next, we'll get into lines and strategies. Alright, so let's discuss why River Song. So, a lot of people are pairing her up with this 2 mana cost wizard that you pay for and tap it, and you put her at the bottom of the library, and you take an extra turn. And then with River Song, you just draw the card again and do it all over again. I did order the card to eventually play test it with the deck, but the more I play tested it, it without the card in the deck, the more I fell in love with the card not being in the deck. To be fair, no, I have not played it with the card in the deck. But I find that the deck doesn't really need that card. In fact, it costs a lot of mana to do the thing anyways. You have to pay a total of 6 mana to take an extra turn. And that's if you have a Lightning Greaves in your deck to equip it to the wizard when it comes in play, so that it has haste and it can do its thing. It's 6 mana is a lot to pay for, exploration type effect. Because if you don't have your combo ready to go, you're just paying 6 mana and hoping that no one has interaction or removal to kind of stop you digging through your deck to find it. Another thing that comes up is the fact that if you don't have a way to play cards from the top of your deck and you're just taking extra turns every single turn, you're technically not even doing exploration at that point, because once you drop all your lands out of your hand and you're not drawing technically any new cards, you've just stalled out the game and you basically forfeit to... You're given a forfeit to timing out the game. So it's not even that great. That being said, though, her ability to draw from the bottom of the deck, I think, is still relevant, because we're doing things like playing the reality chip and a Mystic Forge to be able to cast artifacts, and in the case of the reality chip, anything from the top of the library. And her second ability, which, just taxes your opponents from scrying and tutoring, does sometimes slow down the game, because even though she is annoying to, tutor, even for a fetch land after she starts doing 4 damage to people, which is only, 2 fetches, someone just, two different people tutor for the decks for something, and she's up to 4 power, and people just kind of stop, and she just kind of sits around. Even though I don't run Lightning Greaves in the deck, she kind of just sits around on the table, kind of not preventing people from not tutoring unless they really need to, because usually there's other things more important than her on the table. People only really start freaking out about her being relevant when you're able to play things from the top of your library, because you're basically using the top of your library as a placeholder for a Sensei's Divining Top, and things get really crazy from there, because you're putting Sensei back on top of your library, casting it from the top with either the Mystic Forge or the Reality Chip, and you've got a bunch of cards in the deck that Shimmer Mirror lets you do at instant speed. You got things like this Ethereum Sculptor that reduces the mana cost of the thing you're casting over and over again, since Divine Top, by 1, which reduces it to 0. Phantasmal Image, you just copy an Ethereum Sculptor just because there's other artifacts in the deck, so it comes in relevant. Birdie gives you a mana each time you cast the Senseis, which then you can use to cast the Senseis again, giving you a mana again, which is ridiculous. Foundry Inspector is just another mana reducer for artifacts. Stormkiln Artist is in here because it is an Izzet deck, so you are playing a bunch of instants and sorceries. So those treasures come in handy, especially if you try to not storm off exactly, but get the ball rolling with the Sensei's Divine Top being cast from the top, and you're drawing from the bottom. Phyrexian Metamorph is just another copy of thing that reduces a thing. And speaking of that, failing those, you can start making infinite mana with a Cloudstone Curio, a creature that lets Dockside go mana positive, and then you start drawing your deck with Senseis. More ways to make infinite mana is Isochron Scepter, Dramatic Reversal, and then, in case Senseis, fails or you don't have it, you can start dumping the infinite mana you produce into a Staff of Domination. Another way to make infinite mana is a Basalt Monolith and Power Artifact in the deck. Another thing to shoot your mana into is a Walking Ballista. And if you draw your deck with either the Senseis or the the Staff of Domination, you can Thoracle. But if you're casting a lot of things over and over again, maybe you don't even need to draw your whole deck Thorkel. Maybe just Aether Flux Reservoir. I really love the fact that you can get Muddle the Mix. What's called? You can transmute Muddle the Mixture into a Underworld Breach, which has won me a few games. So yeah, the deck is really resilient and kind of slows down the game just that tiny bit that you need to get going because you have a River Song in the command zone. I've really fallen in love with the deck. I kind of, you know, since I build so many decks for the channel, I have a limited card pool, and I test each deck before I, put it before you guys. I kind of had to tear these decks apart, to move on to the next project. But I am going to miss this deck. I think if you want to play her as a stacks piece, and then control and deny the board the rest of the board their game plans until you can go off with yours. So yeah, that's River Song. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and show some love and come back for the next one. Thank you.